Welcome to Insider Voice with true voice specialist Joe Hu. Join me, RBTV host Scott Zach, along with nearly 100 studio audience members to experience telepathy and precognition. The expert to my right helps people with personal relationships, careers, affairs of the heart, past lives, the future, and so much more just by hearing their voice. On this program, I will ask every and any question to perfectly clarify what this amazing man does and what his talent exactly is. Our RBTV audience gets involved by asking questions and giving their opinions on Joe Hu. During the next 60 minutes, you will see Joe Hu at work. Stay tuned and join the thousands who are amazed and touched by this man's talent. I would like to ask the audience to support me in welcoming voice specialist Joe Hu. I'm Scott Zach, and Insider Voice is coming up next. Welcome to Insider Voice. Let me again thank Joe Hu for joining the show. Sure. Thank you. Welcome to the show. And our audience for being so involved in our taping. Let's start out with the very basic question of what is voice recognition, telepathy, and precognition?
Well, voice recognition is merely a way that I ascertain or vibrations come to me about an individual. When I hear a person talk, I can tell things about them, past, present, future, people around them, things like that. The interesting thing about voice recognition is that you know how some people have crystal balls and some people they read tea leaves and some people have tarot cards. Those are just a mere way of focusing one's own abilities, okay? And I never knew this had a name to it. I was, believe it or not, I was in a rehab unit at a hospital because I fell off a ladder and clumsy. I'm really clumsy. I fell off a ladder and I herniated a couple discs in my back, and the guy was trying to work on my back, you know, and walking and stuff like that. And I looked at him and says, "That's why I asked you about the aquarium in your green room." I said, "You just are you buying fish? Didn't you just buy an aquarium?" And he looked at me and he says, "How do you know that?" And I said, "Because I hear it when you talk."
That he just bought an aquarium?
And yeah, that he just bought an aquarium. I could see things around him. And the guy was a psychologist. He was teaching you some pain management, you know, how to talk yourself out of feeling pain, which doesn't really work sometimes, you know. But anyway, I told him that, and he says, "Oh, wow." And the guy dabbled in the paranormal, and he said, "You have something called voice recognition." I said, "Oh, is that what that is?" But what it is for some reason, when I hear a person's voice, I start to see things behind my eyes, and that's how I get the information that comes to me. Precognition is the ability to perceive a person's thoughts or to project thoughts to a person or to a situation. And telepathy is the ability to foresee things as they're going to occur.
But you've always had this talent. It's not like you just hit your head one day and you got it.
Well, I hit my head a lot. I don't know. I was a little kid. Yes, I did, too. When I was a little kid, I just always knew things. I remember I was like 5 years old. My mom and dad are European. I'm only first generation here. And we lived in the old Italian neighborhood in Chicago, the old Taylor Street area of Chicago. And there was a little girl there. Her name was Ro. And the kids would make fun of her. I don't know why, but everybody did. And she'd cry, and all of a sudden I found myself crying because I could feel everything she could feel. I felt all her pain. So I remember saying, "Come on, I'd take her away. Let's go to my house." And I go up to my, you know, to my mom and dad's house. We're up there, and my mother's looking at me. She's looking at her, and she's looking at me, and she goes, "What happened?" She thought somebody got in a fight, and I told her. And she says, "When I said, but I'm crying. I feel the pain." And my mother just said, you know. When Ro went home, my mom said, "You know, Joe, you can see people. You have the ability to see things. It runs in our family. But don't tell people. They'll make fun of us."
Oh, really? So it's the whole, your whole family.
It's on both sides of my family. Not everybody in my family, but it's on both sides. My mother's side and my father's side.
Could that mean it's hereditary?
They say it can be. I just think everybody has the ability. I just think maybe I'm just either a better listener or I just hear better. You know. So
every single one of us, to some degree, has the power.
How many times have you been? Let's say. How many times you think about somebody and all of a sudden, boom, they call you. Wow, I was just thinking about you. You know, once is a coincidence, twice is a coincidence, but come on a fairly regular basis, right? You go to a party, you're in a room, and all of a sudden there's somebody you're attracted to. You don't know why. It's not because of their physical attributes or just you feel connected to that person. What do you think that is? Okay? Or you're instantly repelled by somebody. It happens to us every day, day in and day out, day in and day out.
And you don't even know what's happening.
No. No,
Okay.
it's a coincidence. Oh, yeah, right. You know, once in a year, maybe, you know.
Okay.
But it happens, I'll bet you everybody here it's happened, if they think about somebody and it calls them, I'll bet you everybody here it happens at least maybe once or twice a month. You know, and that's beyond chance.
And how many people are doing what you do?
How many people are doing what I do?
Yeah.
Voice recognition isn't that common. Although a lot of people say they do, it's not that common as I understand it. I think more people are into tarot cards, okay? More people are into different things. I would imagine a lot. I don't really know how many, though.
And when did you personally decide that this is what you wanted to do for the rest of your life?
I had very little control over what happened.
It just kind of happened?
Well, yeah, it's a very interesting story. Remember I was talking about herniating the discs in my back? I was off of work and I was feeling really dejected and sorry for myself, you know. And up until that time, believe it or not, I was working in robotics for the Defense Department. Which is pretty cool, huh? And I remember sitting up late one night, it was like in 1985, and I was listening to, I don't know how many people remember WLS Radio, it was Chuck Britton on late night, and he said, if somebody can tell me what I lost, you get free tickets to see Genesis. And I love Genesis, you know, a group, and I go, wow. And I was listening to him talk, and I said, okay, so I called up. And I said, well, he lost his sunglasses, you know. Well, he always loses those. And we were going to hang up. He said, wait a minute. I said, the other thing, he didn't really lose anything else. He swallowed. He had a temporary cap in his tooth, and he swallowed it. And there was this long pause. And I go, who is this? I go, Joe. And he said, Joe who? And I said, yeah. But the name was given to me a long The name was given to me a long time ago, before that. But the guy said, oh, yeah, come on. I said, really? So then they put me on hold. He says, you know Chuck. I said, no, I don't know Chuck. So he said, well, come on down to the studio. So the following Thursday, I came down to the studio. And I told them about myself, and they took calls, and all of a sudden I had a one-year contract once a week with WLS Radio. And then, I don't know how many people remember Mort Downey, good old Mort Downey. Well, Mort Downey Jr. used to have a television show on WMAQ. I mean, I'm sorry, a radio show on WMAQ. And his people had heard me, and they had called me, and he has asked me to come down. I'll never forget this. So I go down to WMAQ studios, and you know, there's like the glass there, you know, and we walk in this room, and I could always see him because he smoked really bad, you know. And so did I at the time, too, okay? So I walk in, he's kind of coming out of the smoke, and he goes, you have a kind face. Are you a kind person? I go, yeah, I think so. And we took calls, and he kept me on every 2 weeks. I came back to his show. I was the one who told him he'd leave radio to go to New York and do television the year before he did it.
So do you ever need to practice the talent, or, I mean, have you ever needed to work on it?
No, it's there. It's always
just
there. You
always
can't shut it on and off. It's just there.
Okay. After a quick break, I will continue to ask our expert questions, but more importantly, our audience members will really get involved, so stay tuned. But right now, an audience member's view on the show and a quick Joe Who credential.
When people call him and have problems regarding something in their lives, Joe is always able to advise them in a way that maybe they've never been able to see before. And I think that what he has to give to people is truly a gift, and it's a wonderful way for people to learn how to get in touch with themselves.
Joe Who has an amazing innate ability to hear someone's voice and then describe the vision he sees on their lives. His accuracy is sometimes scary, but always interesting. Larry Wirt.
Till 3 weeks ago, I had never heard the name Joe Who, nor was I familiar with what he did. So I come tonight with a very open mind. I'm interested in anything that has to do with prognostication, and very, very much looking forward to hearing how Joe does whatever it is he does.
Our 100-member studio audience is ready. I'm Scott Zach, host of Insider Voice with Joe Who. We are ready to see our expert in action, but I got a couple more questions. What do you need to hear from a person? What's the limits? I mean, do you just need to hear their name and that's enough?
I usually ask 3 questions, and then, you know, I'll ask their name, their age, and the month of their birth. Those are about the 3 things I can ask that doesn't tell me anything about them. I'm not an astrologer. I don't know anything about astrology. You know, in astrology, I think you have to have the birth date, don't you? Yes, February 23rd, whatever, and all that kind of stuff, and you have to have the time. I just want to hear as little as possible. If I need to hear more, then I'll tell them. Okay, but normally I'll just say, what's your name and the month of your birth? That's really all I need.
But as for a huge, long, drawn-out conversation, that's not necessary.
No.
Okay. When you're listening to somebody, what are you searching for? What do you see?
I don't search for anything.
It just comes to you?
It just happens, yeah.
So what's coming to you as you listen to somebody? Visions? Right.
Oh, I see things behind my eyes. Sometimes I see things in front of my eyes, like if she's talking to me, I'll see things here, I'll see things behind my eyes. It's kind of like reading a teleprompter. Okay? But it is. I mean,
I'm not using a teleprompter.
But I didn't say you are. I'm just saying it's kind of like reading a teleprompter, okay? It's like the words are passing in front of me, okay?
Okay, well, so we know what you're going to be doing, so let's meet our first guest. Say your name, first of all.
My name is Judy.
And you take away what you need to hear from Judy.
Just let me hear the month of your birth.
January.
Okay. All right. Now, people are going to fall in two basic categories. They're either be thinkers or feelers, younger souls or older souls, okay? We have a very unusual group that I call double edgers, and about 1 of every 250 people that I see are double edgers. Those are middle souls, okay? And middle souls are people who have a high analytical side and a high emotional side. That's Judy. Okay, she'll argue with herself, make up her mind, change it. When she thinks she's got it made up, she'll change it again. Okay, she'll battle herself. That's the way she is. She's very loving. She's very protective, and it's very funny. She gets sidetracked. You know, she's always. You know, it's funny. You're always a searcher, and you're always a seeker, and. It's funny, you're probably at peace now for the first time in a long time, okay? You've finally given in, and you resigned for the fact that, what's going to happen is going to be postponed for a while, okay? So, yeah, and it's interesting because for some reason there's this peaceful setting in with you. And it's not that and I think you just put it on the back burner for a while, you just had to regroup, okay? So those are some of the things that I see about her.
Do you have a specific question for Johu, or?
I actually do. I have, I'm starting a new career.
Okay.
And I'm going to be certified in hypnotherapy in about a month, and I'm really curious how that's going to go.
Are you familiar with Larry Garrett, by the way?
Yes, I met Larry a few months back also.
I think you're fine. The thing I was talking about, the back burner issue, was a personal issue, not the career issue. You know what that is, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The career thing is fine. That's true. See, you used to be kind of shy about people. You felt intimidated by people. You have a hard time with authority figures, all right? Well, now you're in the driver's seat. Okay. So no,
right.
Everybody's the same. We are all the same. We really are. There's nobody better than anybody else. And I think you're fine with it. Oh, do I think it'll be all right? Yeah. It's going to take time to get some support from the people around you. They may not understand what you do, but they never did anyway, so what the heck's the difference? But the point is, do I think you'll be successful? Yeah, it'll take a little time getting going, but you'll be all right.
Great.
Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, what you're doing, is this very simple? I mean, how much concentration is required of you as you do that?
Oh. They have to concentrate more when I don't know. None. It's just none.
So,
No, I don't concentrate very well.
So,
I mean, I really don't. I mean, I'm very spontaneous.
It just kind of comes to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why it's too fast for me to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how do I concentrate? I don't really concentrate on it.
Okay.
You know what? After when I do a reading, when a person comes to my office or we do a reading, when I get out I'll spend a few minutes telling them about themselves. Okay. After that, then the question they ask me whatever they want. Then we can go in. I'll give them an answer, but then I'll tell them why. I'm not a black and white psychic. A black and white psychic is, will I be rich? Yes. Will I be poor? No. I'm not
Easy
that
answers.
way. But yeah, I get involved with the people because I really do love people.
Now, as you do this, or after you do it, I mean, are you like emotionally and physically tired? Are you exhausted when you get home tonight?
After amount of time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to understand, when I connect with someone, because that's basically what I'm doing, I feel the pain they feel. I feel the joy they feel. I feel psychically. I don't feel. Some people can feel physical pains. Oh, my knee hurts, therefore you have a knee problem. I will see them. What I do feel on them is the emotional pain. I mean, I'll sit there cry with clients at times.
Wow.
I'll start swearing.
Okay.
And I'll say, I don't swear. That must be the way you talk. Yes, it is. But that happens a lot.
But after you're done with the client, does it carry on? Does it affect you? Let's say you're with a very angry person. You're angry, so you can shut it off.
It's not in me. It's through me.
Okay.
It just does. Do I let it absorb? No. No,
okay.
I'll tell you.
So you're not like running around with 1 million people inside you.
No. But sometimes I absorb too much.
Okay.
Dark colors are very protective colors.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is that why you wore dark? Okay, we'll go out back to the audience. Say your name, please.
Good evening. My name is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi. I was born in December.
Okay. Now, see, Paul is a thinker. He's a younger soul. Okay. He tends to be a person who's analytically motivated. All right. He should either be your boss or at least be your own guy. Okay. And I'll tell you something too. Every time you try to go forward, someone's pulling you back. So you've got there's some baggage from a long time ago, okay? And it's trying to hold you back.
She's right there.
You're a little bit, well.
That's a joke.
Okay, but something's holding you back. Actually, it's before her, really, to be quite honest with you, okay? She's very strong-willed. I can see her through you, okay? You're very matriarchal, okay? I mean, husband and son are not the same thing, okay? But as a personality, you like people, but you're a little bit shy. You'd be perfectly content. You're kind of selective loner. You know, you kind of like being on your own, doing your own thing. You know, and you're good with your hands, by the way. You know, did you hobby in? It's really funny. You probably didn't do this, but you'd probably be good in woodworking. Okay, and probably just to kind of to have something to do because you internalize way too much. What's on the outside is not what's on the inside of this man. You got to put 20 questions to get an answer out of him, right? Okay, and you're very anxiety builds up inside you all the time, all the time. You have very funny bouts with sleeping.
Right.
Right? Am I right?
You're very right.
He's lost for words.
You know, but I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, Joe Who does sessions over the phone and in person. What's a typical session like? What can be expected?
Could I ask you? Does he have a question for me?
Oh, do you have a question?
I sure do,
Oh.
and I'm glad to be here. I am going to open my own, I guess, an upscale deli.
Okay.
Primary focus, take-home food.
Upscale deli.
Yeah.
Like imported luncheon meats and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not quite sure what you mean by upscale.
Upscale, low-fat, quality food.
Good tasting low fat?
Trying to stay away from preservatives as much as possible.
Okay.
So.
You can do this on your own. You have a partner. Be careful of partners.
Right. It's like a marriage.
Okay. Oh, listen, that's two.
Wow.
That's two. That's two. One more, you're out of here.
I see.
That's two.
No, to answer your question, Joe.
Huh?
I see an argument.
No.
Yeah,
But you know what? You know what? Actually, if I had to say,
the
do you
car
want to
ride
get
home.
really heavy personal here right now? Do you want to go into that?
Go ahead.
All right. When you lash out, do you know who you're lashing out at?
Myself.
Yes, but somebody else when you're a little kid.
My mother.
Yes. That's exactly right.
I figured
your mom.
you'd say that.
Okay. Anyway, do I think you'd be successful? Yes. Just tell yourself you're going to be. You know, your biggest fear. I mean, you know, all the worry in the world isn't going to change anything. Okay. So will you be successful? Yes. Just stick to your guns. Okay. She's here to support you, not to put you down. Okay. All right.
Okay. Since I screwed up on the last question, I'll ask this question: does it matter if somebody believes in you or not? I mean,
you know.
So if somebody came to you, said their name, said their birthday, said their problem, it doesn't matter if they're believing you in you or not?
No.
Can somebody get away with lying to you?
If they're pathological, yeah.
So
it doesn't matter. You know what's funny? No. Yes and no.
They
It's
can't
kind of,
lie to
that's
you.
a hard question to answer because sometimes I don't see things. I'm not right all the time, you know, and I'd kind of be afraid if I was, you know.
Okay.
But can someone lie? Usually when they come to me, I don't want to waste money lying.
Okay.
You know, they're protective.
Okay.
They'll fail to tell me something. And see, everybody has walls up. Everybody in this room has walls up. I won't go beyond the wall, and I'll tell them. I says, hey, do you want me to venture past that? Yeah, okay, fine. Then they have a fit.
Okay.
You know, and sometimes they start, you know, no.
Insider Voices next and fifth segment will be just like this last. If you are already impressed and are ready to set up a session on the phone or in person with the specialist, stay tuned for the information. Grab a pen and paper. More Insider Voice coming up next.
I've heard about Joe Who for a long time now, but I've actually never heard his radio program. But I had a friend who actually went to see him and was very, very impressed with the information that she got back from him. I've always been interested in psychic phenomenon, and I was at a seminar about 2 years ago in downtown Chicago, and he was one of the attendees. And I got a chance to meet him and say hello to him, although I never had a chance to really have a voice reading by him. I was very impressed by him then, and I thought I would like the opportunity to get a chance to see him.
Dear Joe, I wanted to tell you the last time we talked. Almost everything you told me came true. You told me my mother was taking the wrong medication. We took her to another doctor, and now she's doing great. Also, you said an old friend from the past would come into my life. Nothing romantic, but friends. That also came true. Sandy S., Benton, Illinois.
I have heard a lot of great things about Joe Who. I'm very excited to be here tonight and to actually get to see him in person. And I'm hoping that he will want to talk to me and ask me some questions about myself.
If you've just joined RBTV's special program and you're wondering what Insider Voice is all about, Joe Who is using his natural talent to help our audience with their past, present, and future through their voice. I'm continuing to help clarify his business through questions. And another question, what is your success rate? You just started to talk that, you know, you're not always right.
No. 85, 90% is what people have told me. Okay, but it's really funny. I had one lady come to me one time for a reading, and I don't know, about a year or two later, a year and a half later, she called me back. She says, "Oh, Joe, you're fantastic, except one problem." I go, "Why?" She says, "Well, I met the man you said I was going to meet. I did the job, you know, all the stuff you said, but you were exactly 1 year off." Oh. Okay, and that's only happened like a few times, but it's, you know, it's so success rates are pretty high, but I don't know.
Why would something go wrong? Would somebody not tell you the truth about something?
No, it's like having a bad phone connection. I don't really know. I mean, you know, you can't, I mean, I always have this. It's always on, you know, it's there. But sometimes if I'm super preoccupied or something on my mind, you know, my psyche takes over sometimes. I would imagine. You know, I'm not quite sure why. All I do know is everybody has the same ability. In fact, they say, well, prove it in a laboratory. You really can't, because you can't prove emotions in a laboratory. They can prove clinical depression, which we do. But I mean emotions, happiness, all that type of stuff, okay? But I do know for one thing for certain, when your emotions are heightened, whether it's anger, depression, happiness, sadness, your ESP, or your ability to perceive goes up accordingly, which tells me it's an emotional response.
Have you ever there's been a certain person where you just can't do it?
And I get very scared. Because if I see nothing, what does that mean?
Did the person...
That's right.
Death? Is that what it says?
So what I do is I say it's me, and I says, please call me. We'll see if we can reschedule for next week.
And you try again? And
I try again if they show up.
Ooh. Have you ever predicted somebody's death?
I don't do that. That's not my job. I can't help if I see it.
Oh, okay.
See, that's not my job to do that.
If I ask you, when am I going to die?
Oh, you want to die? You want me to tell you when you're going to die and how you're going to die? No,
I don't want to know that.
If I suppose I see that sometimes invariably in people, but do I tell them? No.
No. So you won't tell people when they're going to die?
I'll say you'll be around a while, or I'll say you need to see a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you'll try to prevent
we had a lady on the show. She called in our show, and she said she was in the doctors for 2 years and she was sick, and no one could help her. You know, they kept telling her it was in her head. I said, you know what? And I knew there was something very detrimentally wrong, and I didn't know what it was, but it scared me. So I gave her the name of a doctor, and I did tell her this. I said, the doctor will be able not to tell you what you have, but to send you to someone who does. And she went to him, and he suspected a tumor on her pituitary gland, which it was malignant, and they got it in time and saved her life. That's true. Okay.
So how many people have credit you with saving their lives?
Many.
Many?
Yeah,
wow,
all kinds of letters for that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's go out to the audience. Say your name, please.
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hello.
Month of your birth?
August.
See, I got to hear her talk a little bit, okay?
August.
Okay. Karen, now, I'll tell you something. She's a great lady. Don't misunderstand me, but she has an amazing curtain up, okay? What you see is what she wants you to see, okay?
We all love Mrs. Mansfield.
She plays chameleon. She can act for a person the way she thinks they want them to act, which allows her an awful lot of maneuverability, okay? But your analytical side is what controls on you, too. You're a little bit of a younger soul, okay? It's taken you a long time in life to probably come full circle on your own capabilities, okay? I think for some reason you've selectively taken, not necessarily the back seat, but kind of the quiet side for a while. You've done that on purpose. You've done that on purpose. It was something you had to do. Now you don't have to do that anymore, so there's no more excuses, all right? You're a very progressive person, and now it's time to go forward in life. Now it's time to take down the veil and let people see who you really are, okay? It's a little bit unsettling, but I think you're doing it very well.
Can she deal with that? I mean, is that going to be easy for her?
Yeah, because yes, okay? Because you have to understand one thing. This lady has got an awful lot of things her attributes, all right? And, you know, she was a learner. She's a person that sat back and listened, and she gained all this information. You take a lot of things in, you know, and she lets very little out. Well, you know, it's now in her life. It's your time in your life right now, like I said, to shed the veil and to go forward, okay? And you're still a little uneasy about it, but you're doing fine, you know? And you're very independent. And if you say you're not, then you're lying to yourself.
Well,
okay.
Question for Joe Who?
There's a lot of uncertainty in our family about, I have a child that should be starting college soon. Will he decide what he wants to do
Let me have
soon?
his first name.
Robert.
About how old is Robert?
18.
Give me the month of his birth.
January.
What is it?
January.
Okay. See, Robert's also multifaceted, you know. And I'll tell you something, too. He's a young 18, okay? And what I'm saying by that is that he hasn't fully culminated what he wants to do. He would be good in any issue that requires brain power, okay? He would be good in business. He would not be good in creative endeavors, okay? He would not be good in anthropology, which would be creative. He wouldn't be good in, he'd be good in medicine, but not in research. Do you understand? He would be good in art if it was only graphic design as opposed to fine art, okay? But he wants to make money. He wants to be an independent person, okay? But he gets sidetracked a lot. Okay? And he does. And I'll tell you something, too. He's supposed to be a leader, but he's playing a following role. That's what you've been doing. You're a leader playing a follower. That's about the best way I can say. And he's kind of doing that, too. Okay? So he's a very young 18, so he hasn't come out yet. And I think he's very torn about going away and staying home, going away and staying home.
Okay, well, best of luck to you and your...
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Best of luck
to you and your son. Do you have any interesting stories? Any one
Yeah, I do.
reading?
These people reminded me of an interesting story.
Okay.
I had a gentleman, when I started my business, I had an office in my home. I had built an office in my home. And this lady and her husband wanted a reading. I said, okay, well, we want it together. And I said, well, I never saw two people together. I was afraid I'd mix what I saw. Well, we have nothing to hide. Okay. True story. They came over to my house, and I have a very large room in my home. And in the center of my room, I have this hexagon aquarium, like a 75-gallon aquarium. And we're sitting down, and I'm telling her, and I'm giving them readings. I started asking about this other woman. I didn't know who it was. And she looked at him, and she looked at me, and she said, I thought, and then she didn't say nothing. She got very quiet. And then I said, then I started telling her about this guy around her. And all of a sudden I was realizing that these people were having an affair on each other. True story. And neither one told the other, but they came to me. I don't know if they thought I was, like for entertainment. And they started fighting in my house. I couldn't tell you how many things they threw and broke in my house. And they almost broke an 85-gallon or 75-gallon aquarium. Okay? That was the one and only time I ever saw couples together.
And you're never going to do it again.
No, absolutely not.
And for good reason.
Not. And I also took the office and moved it out of my house, but that's true.
Okay, next audience member.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
I was born in June.
Okay. You know what's really funny? There's a lot of people here tonight so far that are they skeptical? No, but they're very curious. Okay, there's some people who definitely know who I am. There's some people that are very curious. Okay. I'm going to ask you one question. May I be so bold as to ask your age?
My age?
Yes.
I'm 23.
Okay, there's a reason why I'm asking you that, okay? Your personality, because you're oh boy, how am I saying? You're very strong-willed on one end of that coin, but on the other end of that side of that, you're very, very inhibited, okay? I think you could be your worst enemy if you're not careful, all right? And you can lash out. You can lash out at the person closest to you, and I don't know why you do it, okay? Your personality, who for some reason is not given the benefit of your intelligence. You're not given the benefit of what you can accomplish in life, okay? So I think there's a little bit of anger here. It's kind of like you had a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. I'm not quite sure why, okay? You're very guarded with your feelings. You're very guarded with your emotions. You're very guarded how you come across with other people. And you can be, how can I say this? You can be very impatient, okay? Almost to a fault. And what bothers me about that is because someone had to do this to you. You know, this negativity. I guess it's the negativity that I'm seeing around you. And you're really not a negative person. It's like you're walking around with like 50 pounds of emotional garbage that doesn't even belong to you, okay? So it's made you kind of a little bit cynical at times, okay? And I think that you're waiting for good things to happen, but when something good happens to you, you resist it. And I don't know why you do it, okay? You have to tell, when something good happens, you say, you know what, about time, hey, thanks, it's about time I deserve it, okay? And because of that, it's almost as though your subconscious, it's like your conscious mind is arguing with your subconscious mind. It's like, not your two sides, but it's like one side is arguing with the other as far as going forward in life. And what bothers me is that support mechanisms that were there are not there now, okay? So there's a little bit of betrayal there, okay? And it's going to be a little bit tough for you.
A question?
A while longer.
Well, I was curious, since I am only 23, I was curious if you saw...
You're very old 23.
I'm an old 23?
Yeah, you're very old 23.
Okay.
That's why I asked you, because your chronology is 23, but the way you come across in life is older, so you've had a lot to contend with in the 23 years you've been around. Okay, what's your question?
Okay, well, I was curious if you saw a family in my future?
Yeah, I do. I do. See, I think you're betrayed once, okay? So I kind of think, you like kids that go home at night, but you really do want a family, okay? And you want support. Okay, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Okay, and yes, you will have a family. All right, and it's very interesting. You are not going to be alone in life. You're not going to come. You're going to have a happy life, but you have to understand it's going to be a little bit longer before that happens. You're not going to come into your own before mid-24. Okay, and be careful about friendships that try to fix you up with somebody or try to have your benefit or their heart. You don't need that.
Okay.
Okay, our last studio audience segment is after a quick break. I'm Scott Zach with voice specialist Joe Hu. We have more Inside Our Voice after this commercial break.
I like listening to Joe Hu. I think he is very interesting. And I am very intrigued by the fact that he has the ability and the gift to look into a person's soul.
I believe Joe Hu has a very special gift. I can't explain it. I simply respect it. Joe demonstrated his gift for reading people on my television show, Wild Chicago. Without exception, he was uncannily on target. You should have seen the broad smiles burst upon the faces of those he was reading as he told them about themselves in his rapid-fire way. When you're talking to Joe Who, there's no place to hide. All he needs is the sound of your voice to begin his intuitive process of information gathering. If you'd rather not be revealed, I'd recommend sticking to sign language around this remarkable character, one of Chicagoland's wildest. Wild Chicago, WTTW Channel 11.
I like Joe Who's show. I listen to him on the radio. I don't really know how it works, but it's really interesting to me, the things he comes up with. I believe in the old souls and the new souls and what they mean to people.
Welcome back to Inside Our Voice. Unfortunately, we are down to our last 9-minute segment. Let's jump right back into Joe Who's talent with an audience member. Please say your name.
My name is Alice, and I was born in February.
Okay. Well, Alice is the first old soul of the evening, definitely.
I thought I was.
And yes, you are an old soul, emotional, creative. The old souls are the sponges of the world. We have you know what old souls do best of all? Absorb. Okay, take in strays, animal, people, doesn't matter. Okay, you have those definite capabilities, and you worry all the time. Okay, if you didn't have anything to worry about, we'd find something to worry about. Right? Old souls. You know what's funny? Old souls may not remember names very well, but they won't ever forget a face. Okay, clumsy. I don't know if you are. We're clumsy. I don't know why.
Yes.
I mean, I opened a tuna fish, pop top, and cut my finger. Okay, how many people do that? I mean, a pop top, cut my finger. Clumsy. And you know what's funny? Does anybody have this happen? I got to tell you. Ever look for something and it's not there, and go back and it's there, and you think, well, I just missed it? That's not true. Okay. There's something called teleportation, and believe me, so I just didn't look. Baloney. Things have for some reason, things can disappear and come back. It could just be. I'm not quite sure. I've been studying this for about 10 years now, and I still haven't come to the conclusion of what it totally is. It's not a spirit. It could be. It's just a vibration change somehow. And I know this happens because I know I've done it. You know, and everybody's experienced that. Well, I just missed it. No. Okay. Anyway, we have that too. Things will break in old souls' hands. Things like that. All right. What's your question? I'm sorry, but that's how you are. You know, and you're definitely an old soul.
I feel an old soul.
Okay.
In fact, I've just hit a milestone birthday, and was wondering what it holds for me health-wise and family-wise.
Okay. First of all, if anything you have to watch out for, you have to watch out for your immune system. Why? Because worry reduces the immune system. Stress, okay, and worry, all right? But your health is pretty good. There's some elevation of sugar in your family, but it doesn't equate to you, okay? If anything's going to cause you problems, and more than anything, it'll be more muscle fatigue, lower back. You're not going to have anything in the stomach or colon area because you appear to be healthy there, okay? But as far as your health goes, your health is fine. You need to have did you just recently have your eyes checked, though?
No.
Okay, because you need to have your eyes checked because you're this side, left eye, right eye. My left, your right is down over the other, so you need to have it checked. I have a hard time with because it's like this type of thing, okay? And you know, because the worry and the concern, you will always be that way. You know, if everything's quiet, you'll say, all right, this ain't right, something's wrong. But you're actually doing very well.
Well,
okay.
thank you very much.
And I see you packing and unpacking boxes. So for some reason, what's going on with that?
And if you're going to have back problems, don't be lifting those boxes.
Really?
Just pack them.
Packing and unpacking.
I'm a collector of teddy bears, and I have a whole bunch that I need to catalog and they're sitting in their boxes, and I've taken them out.
For 5 years, right? You start and stop. See, you have to have a whole bunch of projects going on, too. The back problem is more like sciatic or something, nerve, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. But no, you're doing
I was wrong.
Well, thank you very much.
As you look into this audience, or you watch people walk down the street, are you picking up things just by looking at them, or body language? Are you constantly doing this, or do you need to say, okay, Joe Who, let's do this? Or is it always happening?
It's always on. I don't watch people. If I'm walking downtown on Michigan Avenue on a nice day, I'm on the way to the studio, and two people are talking, I hear what they're saying, but I hear what they're not saying. You know what's really hard for me? You know what's really hard for me? When I go shopping, okay, and I go to the grocery store, and there's a lady in the next aisle yelling at her kid, okay? I have a real hard time with that because I feel what he feels. I also feel what she feels, and the anger in her, and I feel the fear. And I have a hard time with that. I mean, more than anything. I mean, I don't know why, because you know, there's a lot of kids out there who I don't know. Go
You know,
on,
he needs to be a judge if he can just tell if people are lying or not.
Oh, I know judges that lie.
We need to be Judge Joe Who.
No, I wouldn't want that responsibility.
No, well,
no. People
just an idea.
People have asked me about all kinds of things. John Wayne Gacy. They've asked me about Dahmer. They've asked me about O.J. Simpson. You know, and I know what I see and I know what I believe. Whether they think I'm right or not, I don't care.
Can we ask if O.J.'s guilty?
O.J. did not commit those murders. I don't care what anybody says. He's just as guilty. And I've said this for a long, long time. He's just as guilty because he knows who did.
So he knows who did it, but
yes.
Was he involved with getting it done?
He was never anywhere near there. Okay,
but was he involved with getting it done?
I don't. What do you mean? Was he involved in getting it done?
But did he have like hitman or something?
No.
He just knows who does it.
No. He's protecting who it is because it's family. Okay, there's something going on more than people realize here. Okay, there's something going on a lot more. And I'll tell you something. He was found guilty civilly, which I don't understand the constitutionality of that. However, that judge disavowed everything. They wouldn't allow any of his evidence in. Okay, and like I said, you know, the guy's guilty because he's protecting. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's a horrible thing that happened. I mean, no, your life isn't yours to give or take. We're all on loan. We belong to someone else. I mean, it's, you know, you're here. Your life is a gift.
Okay, to the audience.
Hi, my name is Diane. I was born in July.
Hi, Diane. How are you?
Good.
Diane, if she's angry, she can hold a grudge for 10 years. She won't give in for no. Who are you looking at, Diana?
My husband.
Am I right or what? Look at him. He's turning all red. See? I am just not going to give in. Okay? And you do. And it's really funny. I mean, it could burn a hole in you, but you will not give in. You're just really stubborn that way. You're also fiercely protective, okay? And I'll tell you something, too. As a personality, you've had some losses around you for some odd reason, okay? Did you lose a child? Did you miscarry a child or something? Okay. There's some losses. I see a young loss around you. I'm not quite sure what it is, okay? But as a personality, all soul, definitely, creative, definitely, and like I said, you can hold a grudge for a long time. You really can. And no one tells you what to do. No one. Okay? You have a question.
Yes, I do. Do you find me moving to a different part of the country with my immediate family, and if so, why?
If so, why or when?
I mean, why? Is it a job move? Is it just we don't?
Do I see you moving, you mean? Like soon?
Yes.
No. No. Are you supposed to be?
I'd like to.
No, I don't. Well, hell, yeah, me too. But no, I'm not saying you're not going to, but I look about a year ahead, and I don't see a move here, okay? But I do see you not liking where you're at, but that's obvious. But as far as you actually going this year, no, I don't see it.
Why do you only look a year ahead?
Because...
That's only what you see?
Well, accuracy is kind of important to me. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, if something's real strong, I'll say, yeah, I could see it 3 or 4 years down the road. But I try to stay within a year's time, okay? And it's like, how far can you see with the naked eye? You know, it's kind of like... Sometimes it gets foggy, okay? But your move is tied to a lot more reasons than just wanting to get, you know, just finding a different place to live. You're trying to get a whole new life going, okay? But I think there's so many strings holding you, it's very difficult to do.
Thank you.
One of the most interesting...
Would it be out west?
No.
Okay. North? North or northwest? Like Wisconsin?
No, like northern Michigan.
Northern Michigan? Like the UP?
Yeah.
Really? That's far. But you know what? You're very isolated up there, aren't you? Okay.
Well, we were talking in the green room, and we were talking about what do you pick up from other people on the radio and people on TV?
What?
Well, can you pick up things from people on radio and TV?
Yeah, I can. You mean personalities or just people who are there? You mean like...
Any specifics? Anybody you really don't trust? We shouldn't trust?
I really don't want to go into names, but yeah, they're, you know, I mean, radio and television, you know, it's egos. Everybody's, I mean, there are good people on radio, good people on television. Everybody has an ego, and they're artists and things like that. So, and some people in media have a hard time with, you know, because of what they, you know, because of what they think they do anyway.
Okay.
You know, I would go on the radio station, do my job, and come home. You know, I know very few people on the radio. The ones that I knew were fine with me. Kevin Matthews, great guy, you know. But there are some people you have to be careful. You know, you have to watch out. There are leaders and followers in the world, you know, and there's some people who are very fragile. You know, there are artistes and there are artists. You know what I'm saying? You know, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I don't want to answer that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Back to the audience.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I was born in August.
Okay. Have I talked to you before, Karen?
No.
Okay. You look familiar. You and you both, by the way. First of all, Karen would have been a great teacher. Okay, you really would have. I don't know quite why, but you would have. Okay, you have a lot of patience. You're very organized in how you do things structurally. Okay, you're the world's greatest procrastinator when it comes to your personal life. Okay, but your structured life is very, very good. Okay, so you're good at organizational skills. All right. When it comes to emotional issues, well, that's a whole other story. But you, like I say, be a good teacher because you can have patience. Only between maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th grade at the most. I don't know why, but you know, but you'd be good. Nursing, you'd be good at. But not if it got real heavy, you know. If you would be better dealing with adults than you would children in nursing, okay. But either way, but you know, you're being a thinker and being a little bit of a younger soul. You have to understand that one of your lessons is to teach. It's very strange. What do you do?
Well, I run my own business.
Okay, what is it?
Candy, chocolate candy. So
Okay.
I manufacture
candies.
and wholesale.
Okay.
Sort of my own product line, though.
Okay.
So everything was, let's say, originated from scratch, and now
Okay. So
trying to teach everyone.
Well, see, but yeah, teacher,
it.
I don't necessarily mean grade school. You would have been a good teacher because you're good. You know, you have a lot of patience with kids, okay? But you're your own boss, which is good. It's typical of thinkers. Thinkers make much better being their own bosses, okay? But the funny part about it is your business is going like this. It's flip-flop, 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 down, up, down, up, down. Are you getting tired somehow? Okay? Somebody's talking in your ear, and you shouldn't take that advice. Okay? You need to stick to your guns. I have an aunt that did the same thing you did. With lollipops. When people would order flower arrangements, she'd make lollipop arrangements. Okay, and people say, "Oh, you ain't gonna do anything with that," and she's doing very well with that. You know, anything from X-rated lollipops to whatever. But the point I'm making is that there's somebody. Be careful because some people are envious of what you do. You know, people are going to always be envious of other people's successes, and you have some of that around you. So when your business dips, listen to who's around you at the time.
I want your job.
That's actually a warning I'm giving you. Okay, and you are here to teach. That's one of the lessons why you're here. Okay, yeah, you are here to teach. Not necessarily how to make chocolate, but I think you are here to teach. Okay, and the business is all the business does is allow you money. Money allows you freedom. Okay, but you know, because the business is going like this and you're wavering this way, it's because somebody's talking in your ear. Don't give in to that.
Okay, how now? Not specific cases, but how do you help the police?
When I work on police, first of all, let me tell you, I'll do murders and missing persons. I don't really like doing murders, by the way.
Why?
Because you're coming in contact with all the family members.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of pain, you know. There's a lot of horror, you know, a lot of heavy stuff.
Something you don't want to handle?
No, it's hard to handle.
It's hard to handle.
Yeah, but the police departments I work on, I don't want any publicity for. In fact, I make them promise not to. But I have worked on.
Say, "Hi, I'm Joe Who. I help the police."
I have worked with police departments. I've also worked on a student that was in a university that was disappeared and found murdered, like, you know, a long time. Okay, I worked on something up in Hegewisch, Illinois. Murders up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Okay, so yeah, but I take no money for those things, nor do I want publicity for those things. Okay.
Can you tell your own future?
No, absolutely not.
You can't do it for yourself?
No, I'd be afraid to, I think.
Ooh.
No, as a kid, see, my mother's very psychic too.
Yeah.
See? So my mother said, "You can't lie to me," and I said, "Well, neither can you, Ma." You know, so they couldn't lie to each other.
Gotcha.
Okay? But no, it doesn't work for yourself.
So you can't go, let's just watch how today's going to go.
I'll tell you something. My mom's very lucky. My mother's this 4'9" little Italian lady. She's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, by the way. My mother's Northern Italian. And does that mean we have to keep going here or what?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You finish up.
So my mother went to the riverboat for the first time, you know, in Elgin, and she, you know, my sister gave her $100 just to do something different. $100, what are they, $1 slots?
Yeah.
My mom's pulling there. About the third one, all of a sudden it goes $270. The lights went. It was, wow, look, Mary, I won $270. And to my dad, my Andrew, I won $270. My dad says, "No, you didn't. You won $2,700." My mother was all freaking out. My sister says, "No, Ma, I won $27,000."
Wow.
Okay. So this is really funny. The following Tuesday, she was all happy about that. The following Tuesday, she went back on the same machine, $10, won $10,000. Okay, they got my mother's picture on the boat. So if you ever go to the Elgin boat downstairs where there's no smoking, you see this little Italian lady holding this picture. That's my mom. You know.
Should I?
You know, they got about her head up because they couldn't get the camera low enough. But my mother's very lucky. I'm not.
Would it be to my benefit to take you gambling when I turn? Well, how old are you? 18,
I'm good at
20?
blackjack. I'm not good at, you know, machines. Don't you know?
You don't communicate with machines.
No, I don't communicate with machines. You know, but I don't gamble.
Oh.
You know, I'm good at blackjack.
You can help me gamble,
but. Gambling is a vice, you know. I mean, if you do it for fun, that's fine. If you let it, you know, anything in excess isn't good.
Okay, after our Inside Voices last break, we'll wrap up this special studio audience taping. All the information on setting up a personal session with Joe Who and how to contact RBTV will be given. Make sure you have a pen and paper. We'll be right back.
Dear Joe Who, last week I got up and put on my radio with the earphones. My, I opened up a whole new world on the nights I can't sleep. I just happened to catch your program. I was thrilled and have not turned the radio off your station yet. Colleen P., Ayrshire, Iowa.
We are closing down an excellent 60-minute show. Most importantly, thank you to our guest, Joe Who.
Thank you.
It couldn't have gone any better. And plus, thank you to our wonderful audience who has sat here in the sweltering heat of our studio lights, and I'm losing my voice.
Do we get tan under these lights?
I would. But I'm sure people, everybody here is impressed by you, and I'm sure there's, and we're broadcasting this all across the state of Illinois. So if somebody wants an informational packet, how would they go about doing that?
If people would like me to send them an information packet, it's free of charge. You can give me a call by dialing area code 630-837-8881.
Okay. And if you want to reach RBTV Cable Excellence, that information has been packaged together neatly at the end of the show. We have a second here. So quickly, if you could tell about me. We've all got to know me a little bit more.
Real quick, I got to tell this guy something. Are you getting a sourdough? Are you going to have a sourdough roll in your deli?
Yes, for my son.
Is that your sandwich?
I want you to be my guest.
Is that what it is, your sourdough specialty or something?
Well, the bread will be used for the soup.
Okay. Is that a recipe that you're getting from someone special?
We're talking to the guy who's opening the deli.
Never mind. Sorry. Okay.
You have to say something. You have to say it right now.
Yeah, I do. Otherwise, I forget. You're a thinker. Okay, plain and simple. Sometimes you have a little double-edged qualities. You need to relax. I mean, you're a young guy. You need to relax. Honestly, you're too hard on yourself. Okay. Life is what you make it, and God didn't put any of us here to be unhappy. Okay? If people say, why do good things happen to some people and bad things happen to others? There's a million reasons for that, okay? And you've been pretty lucky. You're the kind of kid that would pull grades with no problems, right? And people, well, he's got a straight A student, That's fine, all right? The one thing you have to understand is your successes, you can bring to you whatever you want. And I'll tell you as a person, we talked in the green room, and I told you a lot of stuff about yourself.
Yeah.
And I mean, whether you want to go into the audience and tell them whether I was right and wrong, that's fine, but I wasn't wrong in anything I told you.
No, I was very impressed. Okay. We went into some personal things.
But your successes will come to you. What you look for, you'll be successful. Okay.
So what I want to do.
Yes, what you want to do. You just cannot waver, and you will. You will waver. You'll back up for a while. Okay. And that's because of a personal thing you get involved with, and then you'll come back to it. Don't ever lose focus. The easiest thing you'll do in life is go through school. The rest of life is tough.
Is that for everybody or just for me?
For everybody. It's for everybody.
For everybody. And life moves faster as we get older.
And all we have is each other. I'll tell you something. If we don't love each other, and take care of each other, what's going to happen? Things are going to be tough till about the year 2004. You're going to see some really interesting changes with weather, climatic changes. You're going to see things that you're hearing it more and more today. 10 years ago we beat people up. Today they shoot them. Okay. You're going to see all kinds of things, and it's going to be increasing and increasing. And by the time 2004 comes around, things will be tough, and then things will calm down for all of us. Okay. But the one most important thing you always have to remember, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, is that you have to love each other. You have to stick together, because if you don't, no one else is gonna. This planet is our home, and if we don't watch it, and if we don't take care of it, we're going to lose it. And that's really what I want to say too.
That is his motto, and a good motto at that. We could go on for hours. I'm sure every person now is totally comfortable and will want to come up to you. And we'll probably do this again, not this year, next year.
Whenever.
Just
keep getting older.
Cool the studio down here. But again, thank you to our production manager, Gary Prokes, Joe Who again, our studio audience. For everyone here at RBTV and Joe Who, I'm Scott Zach. This has been Inside Our Voice. So long.
Insert Our Voice, Joe Who, Voice Specialist. RBTV Zach, copyright 1997, Riverside Brookfield High School. All rights reserved.